Alright guys, so we're into our round 3 action. Both of our feature match players are undefeated, well on their way to making top 8 of the Star City Games Invitational Qualifier. On the right it's Brandon Gibbs. He's on the play but also on the multi 5, and he's playing a black-white mid-range deck, basically a Pack Rat Blood Baron control deck. And his opponent is Aaron Carpenter, who's playing John the Monsters, all the red-green hits that you would expect, along with Sire of Insanity. So draw go from Brandon and a turn 2 Sylvan Caryatid. So Aaron following up his turn 2 Caryatid with a Course of Crufix that's going to get met with an ultimate price there. They are going to back up and reveal the card off of Courser, which was a Pelucranos, because it would that state-based effect would happen before Brandon has the opportunity to Doomblade it, or ultimate price it, I should say. So good on him for catching that. So Brandon finds his 4th land, but again on the Molda 5 here, doesn't have a lot of business. 4 mana for a Pelucranos, the Pelucranos that we all knew about because of the Courser. It just passes back, so that's going to meet a hero's downfall here. So Brandon doing a pretty good job of staying afloat here, but no pressure of his own. Looks like a Pack Rat inbound. There is a Pack Rat, unfortunately, and he does have the 5th land so that he can activate it immediately. So we'll see if how Aaron's draw can handle a Pack Rat game out of Brandon. Brandon is down to 1 card in hand, and if he pitches that to his Pack Rat, he's going to be all in on that one. But he does have a Mutavault, so he can effectively start swinging for 3 a turn, or 3 power Pack Rats next turn. 4 power Pack Rats, I should say, because of the Mutavault activation. So Aaron's hand contains at least a Xenagos and another Sylvan Caryatid. He's just going to pass back. So end of turn, going to pitch a Bile Blight, which is basically dead in this matchup, and make a Pack Rat. As we see some custom Pack Rat tokens that have been donated by Rick Pittman here at the store. We'll be giving those away on our stream a little bit later on in the month. So served in with both Pack Rats, probably not going to block here. There's really no need. Aaron's life total is a comfortable 21. And he's going to activate his Mutavault to get in for the full 6. Down to 15. And he's going to cast Devour Flesh. So go back up to 18, I think. Yep. So Brandon trying to keep him off 5 mana for Dragon here. Aaron finds a Temple of Abundance. Looks like he's got a decision here to make on his Scry. You see his hand is packed full of, looks like a Domri and a Xenagos. He might have 3 Planeswalkers in his hand currently. Looks like 2 Xenagos and a Domri. And we're going to make a Xenagos here. No, we're going to cast a hard cast, a promo Gore Clan Rampager. So that should slow down the offense here a little bit. Brandon still can make 4/4 rats, but he's going to lose one. And again, Brandon completely all in on the pack rat plan here. So I think Aaron's got to be more than happy to trade his Rampager with one of those pack rat copies. There's a block, so that's going to force a pump and a pitch. Pitching a main deck Sin Collector, so they will trade, and Aaron will take 4, dropping to 14. And then just passes the turn back here. So Aaron now with access to 5 mana, 6 if he finds a land. There's a Pelucranos. I think we might want to try and set up a turn where we can get Pelucranos on board, and then set up a Domri next turn to fight. Well, actually has a dragon too, it looks like. Well, he has 2 dragons. Yeah, so you probably just play the dragon, get in for 4. Well, no, you can't do that. You have to leave one back to block. I would play Pelucranos here. Yep, there we go. So Pelucranos makes the attacks much worse for Brandon. Brandon's going to hope he peels a removal spell off the top. Pelucranos is dead to all non-edict effects out of Brandon's deck, as it is susceptible to Downfall, Ultimate Price, and Doomblade. But we know next turn the game is basically going to end, as Aaron's going to play his Domri, fight Pelucranos with one of the pack rats. If he finds a land, he can actually play Xenagos plus Xenagos, use the mana for a Domri, and then fight. So the game's slowly slipping away here from Brandon. The Mold of 5, basically the decider so far. This pack rat has gone unmolested against a deck that struggles to deal with it in the main deck. Though Aaron's Jund deck does play copies of Dreadbore, so he's not nearly as cold to it as some of the red-green monsters are in general. See, Brandon's really stuck here because he's going to have to suicide a rat in if he wants to. I mean, he doesn't really have anything better to do, but he's going to lose a rat. He's only going to be able to get in for 4. He can attack with his Mutavault and get in for, well, the Mutavault's not even good because of the Sylvan Caryatid, so Brandon basically decided if he wants to trade his card in hand for 4 damage. But there's really no way he's going to win this game otherwise, especially if that card in hand is dead, and he does decide to swing in. So there really shouldn't be any combat tricks here that Aaron should be worried about. He is just going to take the 4 from the 1 rat. He doesn't necessarily have to pitch here. It is land, so there's really no reason not to. So, take the same 4. Pack rat dies. And now, pretty explosive turn coming here from Aaron. Like I said, if we find an untapped land, we can do the Xenagos Domri fight play. We just find another Xenagos. So Aaron not feeling the need to go with Domri and get rid of a rat right now. I'm not sure if that's like a mistake necessarily, but that Pelucranos is not necessarily always going to be around. Wait, did I just have my mana wrong? Oh yeah, because you tapped the Caryatid. No, he just didn't need the extra land because I was neglecting the mana from the Caryatid. So Aaron doing exactly as we had postulated. Xenagos make mana into Domri, fight Pelucranos on a pack rat. Now we're in a pretty good spot here. Now the Domri is likely going to die no matter what. but Aaron's just going to leave his Pelucranos back. Really under no threat of losing his board here. I guess the best thing that Brandon can draw is a Hero's Downfall, but he would need, he'd have to kill the Pelucranos, and then he could tap out to kill the Domri, but the Xenagos would still only get down to 2. So Aaron very much in control here. So Brandon's stuck between the proverbial rock and a hard place. He is staring down a Pelucranos, a Domri, a Xenagos, 5 mana, an opponent that has about 5 cards in hand. All with the lonely pack rat and 1 card in his own hand. So he's got a thinker here. I really don't even know what the best play here is. I think you have to load up. I think you have to load up your Mutavault, attack everything at Domri, just to feign hope of running perfect off the top of your deck with Hero's Downfalls to catch back up. And Brandon decides not to, so I'm not sure if that card in his hand is relevant or what, as Aaron draws a Chandra Pyromaster off the top. So start things off with Domri, see what's on top. It's not a creature, we didn't see what it was. Now we've got some options here. Well, we have the play of make a Satyr with Domri, play another, make a Satyr with Xenagos, play another Xenagos, make 3 mana, make 4 mana. That's not very good. I think you'd probably just jam a dragon here, go to work, make a Satyr, then win the game in short order following. So we go with Chandra. So with Chandra, you can tick up 1, redirect to the pack rat, forces Brandon to tap his Mutavault here. Which Brandon is more than content to do. Monstrous for 1 on the pack rat. Now if Brandon has a removal spell, he can bust this up. The way monstrosity works is if there's no creature to put the counters on, then yep. So there's 2 damage marked on that 1 pack rat, but Brandon bends his last card in hand. Question in the chat, but doesn't have to pay 1 to activate Mutavault. He did. He activated Mutavault with the own mana from Mutavault. So that's how he managed to do that. So Brandon's got 2 Pack Rat tokens now, but the situation is not any better. He adds another Pack Rat token while Aaron adds another Planeswalker. We've got Jund's Super Friends over here. And we know that Aaron's hand is literally chock full of goodies. 2 Storm Breath Dragons, another copy of Xenagos, and I think another copy of Domri Raid too. So serving with the team here, representing 4 damage from each rat with the Mutavault activation and a discard. Not sure who exactly we're attacking. So Aaron just blocking 1 with the now 6/6 Pelucranos. Domri is down. Past the turn back here. 20 minutes gone in the round. Still working on game 1. Stomping Ground off the top. So Stomping Ground tapped. Are we going to see an appearance of a dragon now? That's the question. If we're going to use Chandra, we should just use the 0 here. Yeah, so we're going to use the same play of taking Chandra up. So rather than activate Mutavault here, we just make another Pack Rat token with yet another copy of Bioblight, which seems almost useless in this matchup. Question in the chat, is Aaron a local player? Aaron is not. Aaron is from Danville, Kentucky. He visited last night for F&M and then again for the tournament today. But his brother Justin Carpenter is local from Hurricane. So there's our dragon. Serve in with the dragon and just pass back. So Brandon making a pretty good show of this, but he's not getting anywhere. He's just struggling to keep his head above water. And Aaron with basically inevitability here. At some point we have to start considering the... Would the time be better served in games 2 or 3? Because I really cannot see a sequence of draws in which Brandon can somehow come out of this game. Especially knowing that there's a backup dragon in Aaron's hand. "30 minutes remaining in the round according to JB, our manager and judge. Don't know what we're thinking about here. I mean, Brandon can load up... What can he do? He can force Aaron to chump block with a satyr. He can kill a satyr and get in 2 damage to one of the 2 planeswalkers if he wants to, if he uses his Mutavault. Other than that, there's really no way to break through here. Hmm. Looks like this game's still going on. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm struggling to find the words to discuss this situation here. We're really spending a lot of time here in a game that I don't think Brandon can win. So I think if he does in fact lose this game, really hope it doesn't come back to bite him in terms of time management, as he'll have 2 more games to try and win after this. As we are now under the 30-minute mark. So Brandon serving in with 2 creatures. Not sure exactly where they're going. One of them is getting picked off by a Pelucranos. I guess we're debating whether or not we want to pitch this card here. But again, best case scenario here is that we sneak, we force Aaron to chump with the Satyr, which he's chosen not to do, and one of these Planeswalkers is going to lose 4 loyalty. So he can't kill either of them. Aaron not concerned with losing that loyalty, as the most lucrative abilities on both of them are the plus and the 0 on Chandra and the 0 on Xenagos. So we're going to pitch a Desecration Demon. Wow, that is very aggressive. So pitch a demon rather than play it. I'm not saying the demon would necessarily help him in the situation, as the Satyr token basically gets to, the Xenagos 0 gets to trade with the Desecration Demon every turn. So scry to the bottom, here's another dragon. Maybe this will be enough for Brandon to pack it in. +1 is Xenagos. Make a Satyr. No, oh my, there's another dragon. And that one should be good enough. So we move on to game 2. It only took 3 copies of Stormbrass Dragon, 2 of which were cast in the same turn, for Brandon to decide he wants to pitch him in. I'm going to take a brief break, see if I can find some deck lists, and be right back. Alright guys, back to game number 2 in this round 3 feature match. Brandon Gibbs multi-5 in game 1, basically obliterating his chances to win. We see on the play here in game 2, he's going to meet a turn 1 Thoughtseize out of Aaron Carpenter, revealing Thoughtseize, 2 Mutavaults, a Swamp, another Thoughtseize, and a Doomblade. So not a lot of great choices here. He does take a Thoughtseize. Yeah, shock himself to do it, so Aaron already down to 16 on his own turn 1. And there is the Thoughtseize remaining in Brandon's hand, revealing a hand from Aaron of Big Garrick, Putrefy, Thoughtseize, and redundant copies of Xenagos. So the copy of Thoughtseize that Aaron drew for his turn down. So we're just trading Thoughtseize with Thoughtseize here. Aaron just plays a red-black temple and passes back. So here is a pack rat. Let's see if Aaron has an answer to it immediately. We know there's a Putrefy in his hand, so that's likely going to have to get fired off here. Going to have to go down to 14 to do it. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Brandon has a redundant copy of pack rat in his hand as well. So this is not going to stymie him much. There is a Mutavault. Yeah, might as well go ahead and start beating in here. You don't have the mana to activate your Mutavault or activate your pack right after you play it anyway. So just start the clock here. These Thought Seizes and Shocklands really eating into Aaron's life total so far. Here's a Temple of Abandon, leaving that one on top. Here's a Scavenging Ooze. So that will help stem the tide in terms of life lost. But Aaron's still facing down a Pack Rat and 2 Mutavaults. 15 minutes remaining in the round. Aaron going to go ahead and use his Ooze main phase to go up to 13. And there's a Doomblade on the Scavenging Ooze. We knew about that Doomblade from the turn 1 Thoughtseize, but still got to run it out there. So what are we doing here? Activating Mutavault, and then using the other one to activate itself, so we should be able to serve in for 5 total here, I think? Nope. Just 9. Just down to 9, I should say. There's the Mizzium Mortars. There's a Xenagos. Seems like an odd play when you have a Mizzium Mortars and your opponent is tapped out and can't make another Pack Rat. I don't know how I care about that, because now the Xenagos is dead. I guess this line forces Brandon to basically tap out again. Maybe Aaron is assuming that Brandon will just attack his life total rather than the Xenagos. As the sounds of Proxy Vintage from Table 1 fill my ears with, yeah, I've got a Black Lotus. It's music, I tell you, music. But in this slightly less powerful format, Brandon with 5 mana, 2 of which are Mutavaults, and a Pack Rat, trying to decide what line to take here. Looks like both of his cards in hand are business spells, as he's not played a land, though he may be sandbagging a land to pitch to his Pack Rat here. If I was Brandon, what would I do here? I think I would just load up my Mutavaults and kill the Xenagos is what I would do. If Brandon just attacks with the Pack Rat, then we're jumping with the Satyr all the time. Interesting. And there's a Lifebane Zombie, revealing Xenagos, Garruk, and Mizzium Mortars. So I guess Aaron, and correctly so I should say, knowing that he had a redundant copy of Xenagos in his hand, kind of, you know, make a 2/2, gain 4 life kind of situation, where he knows Brandon's going to prioritize it. He's not going to block it, he's just going to replace it. But now he has a choice here. Drawing that 5th land. Now he's likely tempted to Mortars the Lifebane Zombie, because he'll never be able to block it. His life total getting very low here. We're getting into Grave Merchant territory. So there's a replacement Xenagos. Go ahead and make another Satyr. And then just pass back. So that Xenagos is dead too if he wants it to be. I guess Aaron just hoping to draw a... Oh, a Thoughtseize. Brutal. There goes the mortars. You have to take the mortars here. If Aaron just spends his whole turn... First he has to draw a land, and then he has to spend his whole turn just to cast Lead the Stampede. Unless he draws exactly a green creature, yeah. Oh, so he takes the Garruk. I don't like that play, but I'm also sitting in here talking about Magic and not playing it. Brandon also, his last card is a Desecration Demon, so that makes things a little bit easier too. I would just swing in here with the Life Beam Zombie, take care of the Xenagos, play my Desecration Demon, and then hope that's good enough here. So Demon, changing things drastically. So let's see, is it a 6 land? It is a 6 land. And we do have triple red for mortars. You go ahead and attack in here with your satyrs because he can't block. And you're not dead to the Mutavaults on the way back. You could attack in with 1 if you wanted to here. Nope. But by not attacking, this allows Brandon to just be all in on his Desecration Demon. And Brandon just packs back, says, deal with this 7/7. Guess we need a Sylvan Primordial here, if anything. So every creature we come up with at least roadblocks a little bit more. Huge Thoughtseize off the top from Brandon here. Here's the trigger. Tap down the demon. We need a Stormbreath Dragon. Yep. For ya, Aaron says. Passes the turn back. Yep, tap the demon again. Do we have removal spell for this dragon? The dragon is now a 9/9, so even a monstrous dragon can't trade with it. 6 mana for an Elspeth? Yikes, this one's over. This one likely over. The time, again, a factor here. So both these guys are going to need to pick up the pace if they want to get a decision in this round 3 feature match. A draw won't kill them. There's another dragon. Let's see. If he taps down the demon here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Yeah, I like this. Just attack in for 8. No, just attack in for 8. No, don't attack Elspeth. Elspeth is irrelevant. You're only going to win if you attack Brandon. So I think there's a bit of a misstep from Aaron. Because he's not dead to the attack on the way back. The most that Brandon can do is 7. You sack a dragon to the demon to keep it tapped down. You knock the top of your deck and hope that's good enough. So let's see. I mean, to be fair, the line I'm suggesting Aaron would need to get incredibly lucky by drawing another dragon off the top, or Brandon somehow doing 1 point of damage to himself. No, he doesn't even need to because he can monstrous and kill him with 1 dragon. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this line of play here. Yeah, so sack a dragon. I mean, I guess he's trying to play around the -3 from Elspeth, which is definitely something to consider, but this attack is lethal. Brandon has to get that card out of his hand. He has to get that card out of his hand. If it's a land, monstrous plus the Stormseeker works. We can't play a shock land, though. What is the card? Yeah. Gore Clan for exactly 8. And Aaron gets there. Oh my goodness. So Gore claying off the top for highlight of the week potential there. So unfortunately for Brandon, let one slip away there. Felt like he had that in play, but Aaron drawing what he needed to get the job done. So